Hey everyone, today we're going to dive deep into a philosophy that can change the way you see each and every day. It's a concept by Tony Robbins called something new every day. This idea revolves around the belief that every day is an opportunity to make small changes that can have a profound impact on your life. We are not bound by the past, nor by our circumstances. The power to create transformation lies within our daily choices. It all begins with awareness. The realization that we don't have to settle for the same routine or the same mindset. Awareness is the key to unlocking your potential. Robbins argues that so many people go through life on autopilot, unaware of how much control they actually have over their lives. What if you woke up each morning knowing that you had the power to change the course of your day, and, by extension, your life? When Tony Robbins talks about changing your life every day, it's not about waiting for a grand event to turn things around. Instead, it's about the small shifts, the adjustments, and the decisions you make on a daily basis. You are the architect of your own reality. The key is knowing that transformation doesn't need to be radical or overwhelming. Instead, it can start with something new every single day. In this part, Robbins urges you to challenge your existing way of thinking. He encourages you to take responsibility for your life. Too often, people are stuck in old patterns because they don't realize that they have the ability to create change at any given moment. It all starts with the realization that today is a new day, a chance to try something different, to learn something new, and to choose a new path. He uses a powerful analogy about a ship heading toward a destination. If a ship is off course by just a small degree, it will end up in a completely different place. This is the reality of life. Small daily decisions, when compounded over time, can either lead you closer to your goals or take you farther from them.
Every time you make a small change in your routine or mindset, it has a ripple effect. Whether it's deciding to wake up 30 minutes earlier, committing to exercise, or changing the way you speak to yourself, each action moves you closer to the person you want to become. These shifts, though seemingly small, lead to massive changes over time. Robbins also emphasizes the power of self-awareness. The first step to transformation is becoming aware of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. When you stop and take a moment to reflect on where you are, it's much easier to identify the changes that need to be made. Robbins challenges you to ask yourself, what am I doing today to move closer to my ideal life? Every day should be a step toward who you want to become. So before you get too comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you really like what I do here. Share in the comments what your daily ritual looks like, or tell me what new habit you want to create today. It's time for all of us to begin making conscious choices that lead to a better version of ourselves. In the next part, we'll dive into the importance of creating daily routines and rituals that will help you build momentum for transformation. Every day is a new opportunity, but for many, it's the routine that becomes the backbone of personal transformation. Tony Robbins emphasizes that the secret to lasting change lies in the rituals we practice daily. These are not just routines but deliberate actions designed to elevate your mindset, energy, and focus. In Something New Every Day, Robbins teaches us that rituals, those simple, repeatable actions, are the foundation of a powerful, fulfilling life. Your day doesn't begin when you wake up. It begins the night before. Robbins believes that setting yourself up for success starts with your evening rituals. If you've ever had a day where everything feels chaotic or overwhelming, chances are your evening routine was lacking. The way you prepare for the day ahead has a profound impact on your ability to start strong and stay focused throughout the day. The best athletes, top performers, and successful individuals all have consistent rituals that set them up for greatness. Robbins urges you to adopt a similar mindset. Creating a morning routine is a game changer. It's the first thing you do each day that will either set the tone for success or dictate a day filled with distractions and missed opportunities. Robbins suggests starting your morning with a power move, something that instantly boosts your energy and sets you on the path of momentum. It could be something as simple as a 10-minute stretch, a gratitude practice, or even visualizing your goals. Whatever it is, the goal is to start the day with purpose and intention. Robbins gives an example of one of his own morning rituals, the hour of power. It's a combination of exercise, mental conditioning, and gratitude. By devoting just 60 minutes to these practices, you elevate not only your physical energy, but also your emotional and psychological resilience. This small investment in yourself every morning creates a ripple effect that touches every aspect of your life. The benefits of having a morning ritual are countless, but the most significant one is that it puts you in control of your day, rather than letting the day control you.
But routines are not limited to the morning. What you do throughout the day matters too. Robbins teaches that you need to create rituals around your key goals. If your goal is to improve your health, you need to develop rituals around eating, exercising, and staying active. If you want to grow your business, you need rituals around your work habits, whether that's setting specific times for deep work or dedicating time to brainstorming and creative problem solving. The idea is that small daily rituals compound. The power is in the consistency, not in doing a one-time big task. Robbins explains that the most successful people aren't the ones who do something extraordinary once, but rather those who make progress each day. They build their success by committing to daily habits that add up over time. Think of it like investing in the stock market. You don't become wealthy by putting all your money in one stock once. You do it by investing little by little, consistently, over time. The same goes for your life. Consistency is key. Another powerful aspect of ritual is the emotional conditioning it brings. By establishing rituals that anchor you to positive emotions, you program your mind to focus on what's important. For example, if you start each morning with gratitude, you'll rewire your brain to be more positive and focused throughout the day. If you make time to meditate or do breath work, you'll teach yourself how to remain calm and collected, even in high-pressure situations. Robbins encourages you to identify your goals, then create rituals that align with them. What do you want to achieve? Do you want to increase your productivity? Set a ritual where you eliminate distractions for a specific period each day and commit to deep work. Want to improve your relationships? Develop rituals around connection and communication. The key is that these rituals must be specific, intentional, and connected to your core values. Your rituals should fuel your growth and keep you moving forward, even when the path feels uncertain. What's fascinating about this concept is that you don't need to reinvent the wheel every day. Robbins teaches us to embrace the power of repetition, because the more you do something, the more it becomes second nature. Success is not about one big breakthrough. It's about the small steps you take each day that lead to long-term change. At the heart of Robbins' philosophy is the idea that you must control your actions every day. No one else is going to do it for you. The power of your day, your week, your month, and your life is determined by the rituals you practice every single day. If you're looking to create lasting change, then your daily habits will serve as the foundation upon which everything else is built. Robbins concludes that by designing your days through purposeful rituals, you will not only transform your habits, but also your entire life. Your life is a reflection of your daily practices. Success and growth are achieved not in leaps and bounds, but in the tiny steps you take every day, consistently. So, the next time you wake up, think about your rituals. Are they moving you closer to your goals? Are they helping you become the person you want to be? If not, then it's time to redesign your daily habits and create rituals that support your vision for your life. The journey to transformation is in your hands. The key to success is in the small, daily rituals that set the tone for each day. Start building them now and watch how they change everything. As we continue on this journey of transformation, Tony Robbins introduces one of the most crucial aspects of personal development: mastering your emotions and mindset. If you've ever found yourself struggling to stay focused or motivated, you're not alone. Our emotions can either propel us to greatness or drag us into the depths of self-doubt. But the key takeaway from Robbins' philosophy is this: you have control over your emotions. Once you master them, you can unlock your full potential. Robbins argues that emotions are the driving force behind every action we take. Whether it's a burst of excitement or a wave of fear, emotions influence the decisions we make, often without us realizing it. The challenge, however, is not to avoid emotions, but to recognize them and understand how to use them to fuel positive outcomes. According to Robbins, mastering your emotions is not about suppressing them. It's about learning how to manage them consciously, using them to drive you toward your goals. A critical part of mastering your emotions is understanding your emotional triggers. These triggers are the situations, people, or thoughts that send us into a particular emotional state. If you're not aware of these triggers, they can derail your day, causing stress or anxiety that affects your actions. Robbins teaches that the first step in emotional mastery is to identify your triggers and then create strategies to respond differently. Instead of reacting with frustration or fear, you can choose to respond with calmness, clarity, and positivity. Robbins also discusses the importance of creating empowering emotional states. This is where the concept of state management comes in. A state refers to the emotional and mental condition you're in at any given moment. Robbins explains that your state is influenced by your physiology, how you hold your body, focus, what you focus on, and language, the words you use. He provides a simple yet powerful formula for changing your state. Change your physiology, change your focus, and change your language. When you shift these three areas, you can immediately shift your emotional state. For example, if you find yourself feeling anxious before a big presentation, you can change your physiology by standing tall, taking deep breaths, and smiling. This simple action can send a signal to your brain that you're confident and in control. You can then refocus your mind on the positive outcome you want, rather than the fear of failure. By using empowering language, such as, "I've got this," you reinforce the belief that you're capable. These small actions combined can dramatically change how you feel and how you perform in any given situation. Another powerful technique Robbins teaches is the power of gratitude. Cultivating an attitude of gratitude has an extraordinary ability to shift your emotional state. When you're grateful, you're focused on abundance rather than lack. Gratitude helps you reframe negative situations and find the lesson or positive aspect in them. Robbins suggests starting your day by listing things you're grateful for, and in doing so, you reprogram your mind to see the world through a lens of positivity and possibility. Mastering your mindset is not just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about conditioning your mind to focus on solutions, not problems. Robbins argues that the way we think influences the quality of our lives. If we focus on what's going wrong, our minds are flooded with negative thoughts that only perpetuate our struggles. But if we focus on what's going right, no matter how small, it can propel us toward greater success. Your thoughts shape your reality, and Robbins teaches that by controlling your thoughts, you can control your outcomes. One of the most powerful tools Robbins shares is the power of decision-making. He argues that your life is shaped by the decisions you make. In fact, your decisions determine your destiny. So many people get stuck in a cycle of indecision or procrastination, but the reality is that making decisions is a skill that can be cultivated. When you make decisions quickly and with conviction, you send a message to your subconscious that you're in control. Robbins emphasizes that the sooner you make a decision, the quicker you move toward your goals. Additionally, Robbins introduces the concept of the change your story technique. He explains that we all tell ourselves stories about who we are and what we can do. These stories shape our identity and influence our behavior. If your story is one of limitation, "I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed," then your actions will reflect that belief. But when you change your story to one of empowerment, "I am capable. I can achieve anything I set my mind to," you begin to act in alignment with that new identity. This transformation begins in the mind but has a profound impact on your external reality. In summary, mastering your emotions and mindset is about taking control of your thoughts, actions, and emotional responses. It's about being proactive rather than reactive, choosing empowerment over limitation. Robbins teaches us that by consciously deciding how we want to feel and how we want to react, we can create the life we truly desire. The key is to take responsibility for your emotions and understand that you have the power to change your state at any moment. So, next time you find yourself in a difficult situation, remember that you have the tools to change your emotional state. You are in control. And by doing so, you'll not only master your mindset, but you'll also open the door to achieving anything you set your mind to. When it comes to achieving success, Tony Robbins emphasizes one powerful principle: setting clear intentions. He teaches that a goal without a clear intention is like a ship without a destination. It may drift along, but it's unlikely to get anywhere meaningful. In Something New Every Day, Robbins dives deep into the importance of not just setting goals, but aligning those goals with strong intentions that drive you every single day. At the heart of this concept is the idea that intentions fuel actions. Robbins often says, "If you don't know where you're going, you'll never know how to get there." This is true for both personal and professional goals. When you set an intention, you're not just deciding what you want to achieve, you're also committing emotionally to the process of achieving it. Intentions are tied to your why, the deep-rooted reasons behind your goals, which is what gives you the energy and motivation to push through challenges and setbacks. Robbins encourages you to start by asking yourself, what is my true desire? What is it that you really want to accomplish? Is it financial freedom? Better health? A stronger relationship? The clearer you are about what you truly desire, the easier it will be to build your roadmap to success.
He stresses that without a clear vision, you may end up chasing superficial desires or following someone else's agenda, instead of pursuing what you truly want. Once you've identified your intentions, the next step is to set clear, measurable goals that align with those intentions. But setting goals alone is not enough. Robbins shares a powerful tool called the SMART goal framework: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. By using this framework, you can create goals that are focused, realistic, and trackable, making it easier to stay motivated and measure progress along the way. But even more important than setting goals is maintaining relentless focus on them. Robbins teaches that focus is the secret weapon of success. He explains that when you concentrate your energy on a goal, you begin to attract the people, resources, and opportunities you need to make it a reality. However, focus doesn't just mean staying on task. It's about being intentional with every decision you make. Every action, every thought, and every choice should move you one step closer to your goal. Robbins calls this living with purpose, making sure that every single moment is aligned with your long-term vision. One of the core philosophies Robbins shares is that daily actions compound over time. This ties back to the idea of something new every day. Every day is an opportunity to take small steps toward your goal. While one day's actions may seem insignificant, when you add up all those little actions, they create massive momentum. It's easy to get discouraged when we don't see immediate results, but Robbins teaches us that success is a marathon, not a sprint. The more consistently you show up, the more progress you make. Robbins also discusses the importance of creating a feedback loop. He suggests that you need to continually assess your progress and adjust your approach if needed. This process of reflection allows you to stay on track and ensure that your actions are aligned with your intentions. If something isn't working, don't be afraid to pivot or tweak your strategy. Robbins teaches that failure is not an endpoint. It's simply feedback, a chance to learn and improve. The most successful people are those who persist in the face of failure, learning from it and growing stronger with each setback. Another critical aspect Robbins emphasizes is having a clear why for your goals. Without a deep emotional connection to your goals, it becomes easy to lose motivation when challenges arise. But when your goals are tied to a strong emotional reason, whether it's the desire to provide for your family, improve your health, or create a positive impact on the world, you have a much stronger sense of purpose. Your why will be your driving force, the anchor that keeps you focused and determined, no matter what obstacles you face. Finally, Robbins underscores the importance of celebrating your wins, no matter how small. Often, we're so focused on the end result that we overlook the progress we've already made. By celebrating small victories along the way, you not only build momentum, but also reinforce the habit of success. Robbins encourages you to take time to acknowledge your achievements and appreciate the journey, because success is not just about the destination, it's about who you become in the process. In essence, Robbins teaches us that setting clear intentions and achieving goals isn't just about writing down a list of things you want to do. It's about aligning your daily actions with your deepest desires, staying focused, and persevering even when things get tough. The power lies in the daily steps, the small, consistent actions you take each day that propel you closer to your ultimate vision. So, start today. Ask yourself, what is my intention for the day? What small action can I take today that will move me closer to my goal? Your success starts with the intentions you set and the actions you take each day. One of the most powerful tools you can wield in your journey toward personal transformation is focus. In Something New Every Day, Tony Robbins emphasizes that focus is the difference between success and mediocrity. Without focus, you're left drifting through life, reacting to whatever comes your way, rather than actively steering your ship toward your desired destination. Robbins teaches that when you harness the power of focus, you unlock the ability to achieve extraordinary results. The core idea here is simple. Where your attention goes, energy flows. Whatever you focus on expands, and if you choose to focus on your goals, your progress, and your dreams, they will manifest. But if you focus on distractions, obstacles, and negativity, that is what will dominate your reality. Robbins calls this the law of focus, and he believes that it's one of the most important laws for success. A major challenge many people face is losing focus. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to get sidetracked. Robbins addresses this head-on by teaching us the importance of eliminating distractions. Whether it's social media, unimportant tasks, or negative people,
Distractions are the silent killers of progress. Robbins encourages you to look at where you're spending your time and energy and ask yourself, is this serving my ultimate vision? If the answer is no, it's time to let it go. One powerful technique Robbins shares for maintaining focus is the concept of the success ritual. This is a ritual or routine that helps you block out the noise and tune in to what matters most. For Robbins, this is his morning routine, what he calls his hour of power. This ritual involves a combination of physical activity, meditation, gratitude, and visualization. By starting his day with this intentional practice, Robbins primes his mind for focus and success, ensuring that he begins each day with clarity and energy. But focusing isn't just about eliminating distractions. It's also about developing a laser-like focus on what's important. Robbins stresses that in order to achieve your goals, you must have a singular focus. You need to make your vision crystal clear and then dedicate all your mental and emotional energy toward it. Think of it like a magnifying glass. When sunlight is concentrated through a magnifying glass, it becomes powerful enough to start a fire. Similarly, your focused energy can ignite your passions and move you toward your goals with unstoppable force. To further emphasize this point, Robbins shares a story of a young man who wanted to achieve financial freedom. At first, he was scattered, trying to juggle multiple businesses, projects, and goals. But once he decided to focus solely on one thing, investing in real estate, his results skyrocketed. He dedicated himself to learning everything he could about the real estate market, built strong connections, and took consistent, focused action. Within a few years, he was financially free. The key to his success was simple: focus. Once he concentrated all his energy on a single objective, everything else fell into place. Robbins also introduces the idea of time blocking, a technique where you schedule specific periods of time to work on the things that matter most. This means no interruptions, no distractions. During these blocks, your focus is entirely on the task at hand. Robbins recommends scheduling these blocks throughout your day, ensuring that you dedicate focused time to your top priorities. Furthermore, Robbins teaches us the importance of reassessing your goals and continually realigning your focus. He explains that it's easy to become distracted by new ideas or opportunities, especially when they seem exciting in the moment. However, Robbins stresses that real success comes when you stick to your focus, even in the face of shiny distractions. His advice? Don't get caught up in what everyone else is doing. Trust your process, stay committed to your vision, and keep your focus on the long-term outcomes. Robbins also speaks to the idea of controlling your focus and energy. In difficult times, when obstacles arise, it's easy to get caught up in negative thoughts or self-doubt. However, Robbins teaches us to redirect our focus away from these negative emotions. Instead of focusing on problems, you focus on solutions. Instead of focusing on how difficult things are, you focus on how capable you are. This simple shift in focus can completely transform your experience. A powerful exercise Robbins uses to demonstrate the power of focus is the focus wheel technique. This exercise involves writing down your goal in the center of a piece of paper, and then surrounding it with smaller related tasks or thoughts that keep you aligned with your goal. This wheel serves as a visual reminder to keep your attention fixed on the outcome you want to achieve. Each time you complete a task or thought that supports your goal, you can add another layer to the wheel, reinforcing the momentum you're building. Ultimately, Robbins teaches that focus is the gateway to success. The more you concentrate your attention on your vision, the more you will attract the resources, opportunities, and people who can help you get there. The key is to stay intentional about your focus and avoid being distracted by things that don't serve your purpose. If you can master focus, you will unlock the power to achieve extraordinary results. By committing to your goals with laser-like focus, you take back control of your life. You stop allowing circumstances or distractions to dictate your fate, and instead begin creating your own reality. Focus is the most powerful tool in your personal success arsenal. With it, nothing can stand in your way. If there's one thing Tony Robbins is certain about, it's that challenges are the catalysts for personal growth. So often, we view challenges as obstacles, as problems to avoid or to be feared. But Robbins flips this perspective on its head by teaching us that challenges are the very experiences that shape us into stronger, more capable versions of ourselves. In Something New Every Day, Robbins argues that by embracing the difficulties life throws at us, we can achieve breakthroughs that propel us forward. The first mindset shift Robbins discusses is that challenges are opportunities, not in the distant future, but right now. Most people shrink away from discomfort, seeing it as a sign that something is wrong, or that they should turn back. However, Robbins teaches that discomfort is often the first step toward growth. If you want to grow, you must be willing to step outside your comfort zone and face the challenges that come with it. In fact, Robbins goes as far as to say that the growth zone is found only in the space beyond your comfort zone. One of the most profound insights Robbins shares is his belief that our true potential lies on the other side of the challenge. He uses the example of a professional athlete who, in order to reach peak performance, must push their body and mind to their limits during training. Every sprint, every weight lifted, every tough workout is a challenge designed to stretch them and improve their strength. The same principle applies to personal and professional growth. Each challenge is an opportunity to elevate your game, to strengthen your character, and to refine your skills. A key part of embracing challenges, according to Robbins, is shifting our relationship with failure. For most people, failure is something to avoid at all costs, but Robbins teaches that failure is not something to fear. It's simply feedback. When you fail, it's an indication that you need to change your approach. Robbins argues that the most successful people are those who fail the most, not because they're making mistakes, but because they learn from them. Failure is part of the process, and the faster you fail, the quicker you can adjust and improve. Robbins shares a powerful metaphor. Think of life as a video game. At each level, there's a new set of challenges, and the only way to move forward is to overcome those challenges. In a video game, if you fail a level, you don't give up on the game. You try again, learn from your mistakes, and eventually conquer it. Life is exactly the same. Challenges are part of the game, and you cannot advance without them. It's not the absence of challenges that leads to success, but the ability to face and learn from them. The truth is, we don't grow when things are easy. We grow when we are tested. Robbins speaks about how adversity often brings out our hidden strengths. When life gets difficult, it forces us to dig deeper, to call on resources we didn't even know we had, and to develop resilience. This process, while uncomfortable, is what leads to extraordinary growth. Robbins emphasizes that resilience is a muscle. The more you face challenges and bounce back from them, the stronger your resilience becomes. A great example Robbins shares is the story of Serena Williams, one of the most successful athletes of all time. Despite facing numerous challenges, injuries, and setbacks, Serena Williams always reframed her struggles as opportunities to come back stronger. Instead of viewing obstacles as roadblocks, she chose to see them as challenges to overcome and master. Her mindset and persistence, even in the face of adversity, are key factors in her incredible success. Robbins also discusses the importance of belief in overcoming challenges. Your belief system dictates how you approach challenges. If you believe that challenges are insurmountable or that you're not capable of handling them, you'll avoid them at all costs. But if you believe that you are equipped to face challenges head-on, you'll find solutions and opportunities where others see none. The way you perceive challenges shapes your reality. Robbins calls this the belief-action cycle, where your beliefs about your abilities directly affect the actions you take, and those actions, in turn, create the results you get. The key to transforming challenges into growth opportunities is adopting the mindset that there is no such thing as failure. When you shift your thinking to, there are only lessons, you begin to view every setback as an opportunity to learn and evolve. Robbins teaches that the more you push yourself through challenges, the more you expand your capacity for greatness. Overcoming obstacles not only builds strength but also fuels your confidence and drives you toward even bigger goals. In this section of the book, Robbins also speaks to the importance of gratitude in facing challenges. He suggests that when facing difficult times, practicing gratitude helps you shift your focus from the problem to the potential solution. Rather than asking, "Why is this happening to me?" Robbins encourages you to ask, "What can I learn from this?" Gratitude is a tool that shifts your perspective, enabling you to see challenges as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Ultimately, Robbins teaches us that challenges are not something to fear or avoid. They are essential for growth, success, and self-mastery. By embracing the discomfort that comes with challenges and reframing them as opportunities for learning, you'll develop a mindset that transforms obstacles into stepping stones toward your goals. The stronger you become in facing challenges, the more resilient, confident, and successful you'll be in life. So, when faced with adversity, remember, it's not the challenge that defines you, it's how you rise to meet it. Tony Robbins has long advocated for the idea that success is built one step at a time. In Something New Every Day, Robbins stresses the transformative power of small, consistent daily actions. While it's tempting to believe that success requires one big breakthrough or a sudden moment of inspiration, Robbins teaches that real progress is made through the compounded effect of daily actions, the ones we take consistently, day in and day out. One of the most powerful principles Robbins teaches is the power of momentum. When you begin taking small steps toward your goals every day, you start to build momentum. And momentum, as Robbins puts it, is one of the greatest forces for success. The key is that small actions, when repeated over time, can lead to massive results. Just like rolling a snowball, you start small, but the more you push, the bigger and more powerful the momentum becomes. Robbins breaks down the concept of momentum into actionable steps. He suggests that if you want to achieve something monumental, the first step is to focus on one small task that moves you forward. It doesn't have to be a giant leap, just a single action that moves you closer to your desired outcome. This might mean sending that email to a potential business partner, reading a chapter of a book related to your field, or exercising for just 10 minutes. The key is to start. He emphasizes that inconsistent action, even if it's just one small thing every day, is far more effective than a burst of energy followed by periods of inaction. This is why Robbins advises against waiting for motivation or inspiration. He argues that motivation is fleeting. Instead, commit to action, no matter how small. When you take action every day, even in the absence of motivation, you're still moving forward. The power of consistency also lies in the fact that it helps you stay in a state of progress. Robbins speaks about the mental power that comes from feeling like you're actively working toward your goals. When you feel productive, it boosts your confidence and reinforces your belief that you're capable of achieving anything. On the other hand, when you go days or weeks without taking action, you start to feel stuck and demotivated. Robbins calls this the snowball effect. A small task completed each day leads to a bigger, more powerful result as time goes on. And just like a snowball growing as it rolls, your results will compound as you build momentum. Another concept Robbins shares is the idea of leveraging your time. He teaches that time is our most valuable resource. So how you spend your time each day is crucial to your success. Robbins provides strategies for ensuring that the time you do spend on your goals is both productive and aligned with your values. He teaches the importance of time blocking, where you set aside specific periods of your day for specific tasks. When you have a clear plan for your time, you ensure that every minute counts. But it's not just about work. Robbins argues that your daily actions must also prioritize your well-being, mental, physical, and emotional. He emphasizes the need for balance, suggesting that your daily rituals should include time for exercise, meditation, and self-care. You cannot pour from an empty cup, Robbins says. The healthier and more balanced you are, the more energy and focus you can bring to your goals. Each small daily action that nurtures your health and well-being will pay off in the form of increased energy and productivity. Robbins also introduces the idea of conditioning success. He believes that success is a habit that is conditioned over time. What you repeatedly do becomes ingrained in your identity. If you take consistent action toward your goals, you begin to condition your mind to believe that success is inevitable. It's no longer something you hope for. It's something you've created through daily action. Robbins encourages you to treat success as a habit, one that's formed through consistent practice rather than wishful thinking. One of Robbins' most famous pieces of advice is, "Success leaves clues." He suggests that you study the daily habits and actions of those who have already achieved what you want. By modeling their actions, you can avoid making the same mistakes they did and accelerate your progress. Robbins believes that the world's most successful people aren't necessarily more talented or lucky. They've simply built successful habits that they perform every day. In addition to consistent actions, Robbins emphasizes the importance of reinforcing positive behaviors. He teaches that as you make progress, you must celebrate your small wins along the way. By acknowledging your achievements, you create a positive feedback loop that motivates you to keep going. Robbins shares how even something as simple as acknowledging progress can give you the energy to continue pushing forward. Ultimately, Robbins' core message in this part is that daily action is the key to unlocking long-term success. Small, consistent actions build momentum, foster belief in your own ability, and, over time, lead to extraordinary results. Success is not the result of a single action, but of the consistent steps you take every day. So, start small. Choose one action today that moves you closer to your goals. It could be a small habit, a productive task, or even a simple mindset shift. The power of those daily actions will accumulate, and in time, you'll be amazed at how far you've come. One of the most powerful ideas that Tony Robbins emphasizes in Something New Every Day is the profound impact that beliefs and identity have on our actions and outcomes. Robbins teaches that the beliefs you hold about yourself shape every part of your life, your choices, your relationships, your career, and even your happiness. If you believe you are capable, deserving, and able to achieve anything, your actions will align with that belief. However, if you believe you are limited, unworthy, or incapable, your actions will also reflect those limiting beliefs. Robbins dives into how we can reprogram our beliefs and change our identity in a way that propels us towards success. The first step Robbins outlines is becoming aware of your current beliefs. Many of us go through life unconsciously holding on to beliefs that were instilled in us by others, our parents, teachers, or society. These beliefs may have been helpful at some point, but they might not serve us anymore. For example, if you were told as a child that you weren't good enough or that success was reserved for certain people, you may have internalized these beliefs as truth. And as a result, you may unknowingly self-sabotage by not even attempting to reach your full potential. To change these beliefs, Robbins teaches us to question them. Every belief is, at its core, a thought that you've repeated enough times to accept as true. But just because you've believed something for years doesn't make it a fact. Robbins challenges you to ask yourself, is this belief serving me? What's the evidence that proves or disproves this belief? By questioning your beliefs, you create the space to replace them with more empowering thoughts. But the shift doesn't happen overnight. Reprogramming your beliefs is a process, and Robbins gives practical tools to help you. One of his most effective strategies is changing the language you use. The words you choose to describe your beliefs and identity have a powerful effect on how you feel and act. For example, instead of saying, "I'm not good at public speaking," you could say, "I am becoming a more confident public speaker every day." This simple change in language reframes the belief into a growth mindset, where progress is the goal, not perfection. Another method Robbins shares is the power of visualization. He believes that the brain doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you visualize yourself succeeding, whether it's giving a perfect speech, closing a business deal, or achieving a personal goal, you create neural pathways in your brain that align with that experience. Visualization is a tool to help you step into the identity of the person you want to become. Robbins encourages you to practice visualization daily, imagining yourself as the person you want to be, living the life you desire. Robbins also speaks to the importance of identifying the story you've been telling yourself. The stories we tell about who we are and what we're capable of have a massive impact on our identity. If you've been telling yourself a story of limitation, you will continue to act in ways that reinforce that story. But when you consciously choose to rewrite your story, you can step into a new identity. Instead of identifying as someone who struggles with finances, you could identify as someone who is financially savvy and abundant. The power of identity transformation lies in the ability to choose who you want to become, and then align your beliefs, actions, and thoughts with that new identity. One of Robbins' most powerful lessons is the concept of identity shifting. He teaches that our identity is not fixed, it's fluid and can be changed at any moment. You don't have to be the person you've always been. If you want to become more disciplined, confident, or successful, you can step into that identity right now. By shifting your self-concept, you create a new foundation for your actions and decisions. You start to believe you are capable of achieving greatness, and because of that belief, you begin to take actions that align with that new identity. Robbins also delves into the idea of anchoring your new identity. He teaches that you can anchor your new beliefs and behaviors through powerful emotional experiences. This might mean using a physical gesture, such as touching your fingers together, while feeling an overwhelming sense of confidence or success. Over time, you'll condition your mind to associate that physical gesture with the powerful belief that you are capable and worthy. Anchoring is a tool that reinforces your new identity, making it feel more natural and automatic. The ultimate goal Robbins sets forth is for you to live with a new identity that supports your highest potential. As you continue to reprogram your beliefs and take aligned actions, you'll find that your life begins to reflect the identity you've chosen. You no longer have to struggle against old limiting beliefs or self-doubt. Instead, you live each day as the person you've always wanted to become. In essence, Robbins teaches that you are not your past. You are not limited by the person you were yesterday. You have the power to redefine yourself every single day. By changing your beliefs and stepping into a new identity, you unlock your full potential and start living a life that aligns with your deepest desires. You are in control of your story, and with each new chapter, you have the opportunity to rewrite it however you choose. If there's one thing Tony Robbins emphasizes in Something New Every Day, it's the power of commitment. He teaches us that success isn't about making grand, sweeping changes overnight. It's about creating lasting change through daily commitment. The concept is simple yet profound. The more consistent and committed you are to your goals, the more likely you are to achieve them. Lasting change is built through small, everyday actions that align with your long-term vision. Robbins argues that commitment is the cornerstone of success. Without it, you may find yourself drifting aimlessly, unable to follow through on your goals. Many people set big intentions or make New Year's resolutions, but without the commitment to follow through day after day, those resolutions fade away. Robbins teaches that commitment is the difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't. It's not just about the desire to change. It's about the willingness to do what it takes to make that change happen. One of the most important things Robbins shares is that commitment must be absolute. When you're truly committed to something, there are no excuses, no backpedaling. Robbins uses the example of people who have burned their boats, those who, once they make a decision, go all in. For instance, in historical examples, leaders would burn their ships after arriving on enemy shores, committing themselves to victory with no option of retreat. This metaphor serves as a powerful reminder that true commitment requires eliminating the possibility of failure or retreat. However, Robbins also cautions against the perfectionist mindset that many of us struggle with. You don't need to be perfect to succeed. In fact, perfectionism can be one of the biggest obstacles to commitment. Many people hold back from making progress because they fear making mistakes or failing. Robbins teaches that it's better to take action imperfectly than to do nothing at all. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow, and each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Commitment means showing up every day, regardless of the circumstances, and doing the best you can with the resources you have. A key aspect of Robbins' approach is the importance of rituals and daily habits in maintaining commitment. He suggests that successful people don't rely on willpower alone to stay committed. They build habits and routines that make the desired behaviors automatic. For example, if your goal is to become fit, you don't wait for motivation to exercise. You create a ritual, a daily habit, so that exercise becomes part of your life, just like brushing your teeth. Over time, your commitment to the habit becomes so ingrained that it doesn't require effort anymore. Robbins encourages you to design your day so that success becomes inevitable through these rituals. Robbins also talks about the power of small wins in reinforcing your commitment. Achieving small, incremental victories provides momentum that propels you forward. It's not just about the end goal. It's about celebrating progress along the way. Robbins recommends keeping track of your daily progress, whether it's through journaling, setting mini-goals, or simply acknowledging each step forward. This not only boosts your motivation, but also reinforces the belief that change is happening and that success is within reach. Another technique Robbins shares is the importance of accountability. Being accountable to someone else can significantly increase your chances of sticking with your commitments. Whether it's a coach, mentor, or even a friend, Robbins suggests that you share your goals and progress with someone who can hold you accountable. Accountability partners provide support, keep you on track, and can offer guidance when things get tough. The act of publicly committing to your goals also increases your sense of responsibility and boosts your commitment to seeing them through. One concept Robbins dives into is the power of leverage. This is a technique where you use external motivation to reinforce your commitment. For example, Robbins suggests putting stakes in the ground, like promising to donate a large sum of money to a cause you don't support if you fail to achieve your goal. The thought of losing something important to you can provide the necessary motivation to stick with your commitment. Leverage is about finding ways to make the consequences of not following through unpleasant enough to push you into action. But perhaps the most profound lesson Robbins shares is that commitment requires self-discipline, and self-discipline is built through action. It's easy to be motivated when everything is going well, but true commitment is revealed during the challenging times. When things get tough, you have to lean into your commitment even more. Robbins suggests that during moments of doubt or when your motivation wanes, you should reconnect with your why, the deeper reason behind your commitment. Why did you set this goal in the first place? What is the bigger purpose driving you forward? By realigning with your deeper values and purpose, you can reignite the passion and determination to keep going. At the end of the day, commitment is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Robbins reminds us that success is not about talent, luck, or even intelligence. It's about a commitment to keep going, no matter what. If you stay committed to your goals, take consistent action, and push through obstacles, you will achieve extraordinary results. So, ask yourself, are you truly committed to your goals? If not, it's time to make a decision. Commitment is the foundation of success, and the more committed you are to your goals, the more likely you are to achieve them. Don't wait for motivation. Make a commitment to yourself today, and start taking consistent action. Your future self will thank you for it. As we reach the final part of Tony Robbins' Something New Every Day, we explore one of the most powerful and transformative aspects of his teachings, gratitude and contribution. While all the other concepts we've covered, focus, commitment, emotional mastery, are incredibly important, Robbins argues that gratitude and contribution are the true keys to a fulfilling and abundant life. These two elements, when practiced daily, not only enrich your personal life, but also create a ripple effect, positively impacting everyone around you. Tony Robbins has always emphasized that success is not just about what you achieve for yourself, but also about the impact you have on others. He believes that the act of giving, whether it's through time, resources, or support, is what brings lasting fulfillment. In Something New Every Day, he teaches that contribution doesn't just enrich others, it enriches your own life in ways you might never expect. When you give to others, you expand your own capacity for joy, fulfillment, and abundance. The first lesson Robbins shares is that gratitude shifts your perspective. It's easy to fall into the trap of focusing on what you don't have, what's not going right, or what's missing in your life. But gratitude changes that. It forces you to look at what you already have, the opportunities available to you, and the blessings in your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, and that shift is the catalyst for creating more of what you want in your life. Robbins explains that the more you appreciate, the more you have to appreciate. By consistently focusing on what you're grateful for, you attract more positivity, success, and joy. One of the most powerful tools Robbins uses to reinforce gratitude is a simple but transformative practice: the gratitude journal. Each day, Robbins writes down 3 things he is grateful for. They don't have to be big things. Sometimes they're as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a conversation with a friend, or a moment of peace in his day. The key is to make gratitude a daily habit. By doing so, you begin to rewire your brain to see the good in every situation, and that practice, over time, creates a profound shift in your outlook on life. But gratitude alone, Robbins says, isn't enough. It's not enough to be grateful. You must also contribute to the world around you. Contribution, according to Robbins, is the ultimate form of abundance. He argues that when you give, you unlock the deepest sense of fulfillment. The more you give, whether it's your time, money, knowledge, or love, the more your own life expands. Contribution doesn't just mean charitable donations or grand gestures. It's about being there for others, offering support, sharing knowledge, and spreading positivity wherever you go. Giving is a way to connect deeply with others and with yourself. Robbins provides a powerful exercise to help people connect with the concept of contribution. He calls it the power of giving. It's a simple act of contributing to someone else's life without expecting anything in return. Whether it's helping a colleague with a project, volunteering your time, or simply offering a kind word to a stranger, giving without expectation creates a sense of true abundance. Robbins teaches that the more you give, the more you become a magnet for the things you want, whether it's success, happiness, or prosperity. He also teaches that small acts of contribution can have a monumental impact. It's not about how much you give, but about the intention behind it. Even small gestures, like complimenting someone, helping a friend through a tough time, or offering a listening ear, create a ripple effect. Robbins explains that every time you contribute to others, you strengthen the bonds of human connection, and in turn, you begin to feel more connected to your own purpose and to the world around you. In fact, Robbins argues that giving is the ultimate form of self-love. By contributing to others, you elevate your own self-worth and sense of purpose. When you give, you're not just improving the lives of others, you're enriching your own life. You begin to feel more abundant, more connected, and more aligned with your values. This, in turn, propels you toward further growth and success. It creates an upward spiral of positivity, where gratitude and contribution feed into each other, and your life becomes a reflection of the love and abundance you put into the world. Robbins takes this concept further by explaining that gratitude and contribution are essential for creating lasting fulfillment. Success alone, whether it's financial, professional, or personal, is not enough. If you're not contributing to others, if you're not grateful for what you have, you will always feel something is missing. True fulfillment comes from knowing that you are making a difference in the lives of others. When you contribute, you start to live with a sense of meaning and purpose that goes beyond your personal goals. Lastly, Robbins urges us to embrace gratitude and contribution as daily practices. He suggests starting each day by practicing gratitude and ending each day by reflecting on how you've contributed to the world. By making these practices a part of your daily routine, you create a life that is filled with meaning, joy, and lasting success. The more you practice gratitude, the more you have to be grateful for. And the more you contribute, the more you will experience abundance in every area of your life. So, as you move forward from this part of Robbins' teachings, ask yourself, how can you embrace gratitude and contribution every day? What small acts of giving can you incorporate into your daily routine? What are you grateful for right now? And remember, as Robbins teaches, the more you give, the more you create the life you truly desire.